Hey readers. So, yesterday we talked about how to clear up your confusion when you are reading and you come to a part that's just not making sense or it's not connecting. When you're totally not sure of how the book or parts of the book connect, it can really help to make notes to yourself. And for example, if you're confused about the order of what's going on, you could go back into the text and you could pinpoint times and make a quick timeline. It's one thing that you could do. Um, you could jot notes in the side of the book or use sticky notes of those big ideas, or you can make a relationship chart. So today I'm going to show you how you can jot some big ideas down. And the big ideas, I want you to know what we mean by that is that it's what was the author telling us, slash, what was the author's purpose for this section or paragraph. So what is the author really trying to convey? So let's take a look at this article I have up here and let's record some of the big ideas. So this article is entitled Monet Davis. And Monet Davis was the first girl to pitch a shutout in the Little League World Series, and after that, her baseball skills have made her very famous. So before I go in here, I'm going to look at this table of contents. I think the table of contents is the first step into really thinking of the big ideas. The author makes chapter names based upon really the themes or the messages of that chapter. So chapter 1 is the high road. The high road. I wonder what that has to do with Monet Davis. I'm thinking about that. Did she have to train on a high road? Did she have a struggle that she had to go through? Chapter 2 is seeing is believing. I'm not really sure again what that really is has anything to do with a Little League World Series champion. Back to a new normal and poise and perspective. So I would have expected or anticipated the fastball or the shutout or one more pitch as titles. These are different types of titles, so I wonder what kind of information we're going to learn about Monet Davis. So let's go ahead and look at chapter 1 together, The High Road. And I'm just going to look at here. Monet Davis shows the form that enabled her to become the first girl to pitch a shutout and earn a victory in the Little League World Series. So we know she's a pitcher, right? She was a really, really good pitcher. So let's look here. Monet Davis took the high road. She forgave others. Um, she forgave when others might have struck back. Okay, so the high road, I guess, is that expression that she's forgiving and she's kind of going beyond people who strike back. I wonder why people were striking at her. She seems like a really nice person. This Philadelphia teenager had won awards and glory rarely given to a 13-year-old. Sports Illustrated had honored her as its Sports Kid of the Year, and it made her the first Little League player ever to be on its cover. The right-hander with the trademark braids had dominated the Little League World Series play with a 70-mile-an-hour fastball that rivaled the form of Major League Baseball pitchers in a sport that might not even be her best. Whoa. I noticed that she throws a 70-mile-an-hour fastball as a young um, baseball player is fairly amazing. Really is. I could probably only throw like a 15-mile-an-hour ball, not even maybe a 15-mile-an-hour ball. So a big idea that I already know, and I think this is one that we all know, is Monet Davis is a youth baseball superstar. She's a standout at youth baseball. So let's look on what does this have to do with that chapter title, The High Road, though? I don't know. I mean, she's talking about how great she is. What are these others who've struck back at her? And yet, when a college baseball player from Bloomsburg University in Pennsylvania tweeted a crude remark about her that got him kicked off the team in the winter of 2015, Monet responded with kindness and understanding. I gotta read that again. And yet, when a college baseball player from Bloomsburg University in Pennsylvania, that's not too far from here, tweeted a crude remark about her that got him kicked off the team in the winter of 2015. Monet responded with kindness and understanding. Wow, I wonder what he said. She emailed the president of Bloomsburg asking that first baseman Joey Castleberry be allowed to return to the team. She wrote that he had just made a mistake, as everybody does. Why not give him a second chance? She asked. Castleberry had heard that Disney was thinking about making a movie about Monet and her amazing accomplishments. The movie would highlight her as the first female to throw a shutout in the Little League World Series play. A few days later, her team lost to a squad in Las Vegas, Nevada. So I'm thinking what they are discussing here about the high road, what that means. My big idea would be that Joey Castleberry made a rude tweet about Monet's movie. That's why this is called the high road. Because she, Monet, forgave him and took the high road. What that means is she said, he was just making a mistake. I forgive him. Let him go back to his life. You don't need to give him a punishment because of what he said. Wow, that's really big of her. I don't know about you guys, but when people criticize me, I get defensive and I get really upset. So that's really big of her. So let's keep reading and see if there's any other big ideas here. Castleberry got himself in trouble with his tweet. Disney is making a movie about Monet Davis. What a joke. She got rocked by Nevada. Bloomsburg officials were quick to act. They kicked him off the team, saying that they were deeply saddened by Castleberry's words, which do not represent us. According to TMZ Sports, Bloomsburg's president, David L. Schultz, said that while he respected Monet's opinion and praised her maturity, he would not let Castleberry return to the team. Later, Monet told Sports Illustrated Now that she doesn't let what people say to her on social media, such as Twitter, bother her. A lot of people just want attention, she said to SI Now. They just want to see how you react so they can put it up on their social media so they can make it seem like you're the bad person and you're not. An honor roll student with a dream to play college and professional basketball, Monet showed poise, leadership, and class beyond her years. She has shown that inner city sports teams can have big picture dreams because those dreams sometimes do come true. She offers hope when others see hopelessness. She brings inspiration to those who struggle and fight it. For those reasons and so much more, she has such a bright future. So this page here talked a lot about those big ideas already. Castleberry made a rude tweet about her Disney movie. She's a superstar. She forgave him. But I remember reading this page over here, and there was other information that seemed like a big idea, like specifically this paragraph right here. This paragraph was saying how she is an inspiration to inner city sports players. So I'm recording that right now. Inspiration to inner city sports players. And what does that really mean? I question. I don't really know what that means as a reader. I have to think about that a little bit. I'm guessing, I'm inferring that inner city sports players don't get to play on a lot of big stages like she did. What did they say again? Has shown that inner city sports teams can have a big picture dreams because those dreams sometimes do come true. So I guess they look at her as an inspiration that they can achieve their dreams and goals, just like Monet. So what I did here, readers, is that I just recorded the big ideas. And any of these could be your stop and jots. You could pull out any of these, and they would all be really good demonstration of your thinking. But this is a good way to make the connection. So how do I make the connection of those big ideas? Let's think about all of these. So she's a superstar. She forgave Joey Castleberry. Put those two together. And she's an inspiration. So what could we say about Monet Davis as a person? And what was the author's purpose, really? The big idea of writing this section. So remember, what was the author telling us? What was his or her purpose for this section or this paragraph? So what are we really thinking here? I'm thinking this goes along with the idea of role model. I think she is a good role model to all of these to anybody really, to all of us adults and young adults alike, because she's done a lot of things that show her maturity and show really that she is embracing her talent as a player and not using her talent just to get notoriety, just to become famous, is what I mean. So she's a good role model. I think all of these would lend to that idea. And that would be a good main idea kind of jumping point. So, readers, it's one thing to collect evidence, it's another thing to collect evidence and think about your evidence and kind of put it all together and tie it all together. And I'm hoping this is a good example of how you can do that with any nonfiction article that you read. So in the next step, I would like you to look at the Neil Tyson article that I have for you guys and see if you can think of some of these big ideas that you would jot. What would the author telling us? What's the purpose for that section specifically? Think about that as an editor, right? Why are you writing this for me? What is this telling me? And if it's not clear, you need to go ahead then and notice that confusion and clear that confusion up. And how do you do that? You stop and study the page. You think who, what, when, where, what are they saying? And then you talk about it. What did you notice? What did you wonder? You probably heard me say, I've noticed and I've wondered about 10 times in that video. Good luck, readers.